Ladies, please, please, please listen to older women. We're trying to tell you the truth so that you can have a life that we never had, so that you don't make the mistakes that we made, so that you don't end up at 40 years old starting your life all over again because nobody told you the truth. It's not a flex to get married and have children. The patriarchy wants to congratulate you and tell you this is the most special day of your life because they got you. They brainwashed you. Now you're laying next to a man in his bed every single night, giving him access to your body and free labor for the rest of your life. Congratulations on getting scammed. And I'm not just exaggerating. Listen to all the women in the comment sections of these kinds of videos, and the truth is right in your face. The flex is getting educated. The flex is getting your own money and your own business. The flex is empowering yourself to make logical and good choices on who you surround yourself and what you do with your time. There's no greater waste of time than a man. Last night I was up in my bed thinking about how to make great content, how I could monetize this, now I could make money doing that. And then my mind wandered to spirituality and consciousness and how my mind interacts with my world and how my life changed when I started to deeply work on myself. When I turned away from everyone else who was trying to use me and grab my time and resources. You must be selfish. You must be selfish because you have nothing to give otherwise to this world. You must be selfish because you will have nothing to give to your child. You can do it the hard way, but that's not going to be easy. My advice to you is to be like a man. You see, they tell men a very different story. They say, get your money, get your career going, and then get married and have a family. But to women, they say, get married and have a family. They want you always in a less power position than a man, because a man has a real big problem. He realizes that we do have a lot of power because we're very desirable and valuable to our world. So they need you in a less power position so that you can depend on them. The dependency system works all over the world in many different ways. Citizens depend upon their governments, students depend upon their teachers. Even a workout coach said they just need their clients to depend on them so that they can make money. The true leader and teacher is the one who empowers those to fish for themselves, who says you can be independent and sovereign. Please get your independence first. Have your own money, your own shelter, your own career, and your own mind. It's a much different viewpoint when you have your own money, and when a man approaches you, you're not assessing him for survival. You're not assessing him in that way at all because you can stand on your own. Shira 7 has greatly impacted me and woken me up in many different ways. But the one way that I disagree with her is that she tells young women to find a relationship with a man who's wealthy. She's very correct that you should be emotionally detached, but still, never waste your time, your young years, investing in a man. Even if he's wealthy, even if he's paying all your bills, how much time are you spending with him? That's time you could be spending in college or building your own career. Be selfish with your time. And if a man can't respect that, he doesn't respect you. He doesn't like you. He doesn't value you. You don't need him. Don't lay up in bed all night worrying if a man is cheating on you. What a waste of time. What a waste of your talents. If a man ever has you wondering, you're acting like a woman and you need to act like a man. A man stays up at night thinking about his money and how he's going to advance in life. And then when a woman walks by, he uses her to please himself and then discards her. Women don't understand why men are so emotionally unattached. Because they're empowered. Because they have their money, they take care of themselves, and they don't rely on other people. But women are taught to desperately rely on everyone around them for their emotional support, for their financial support, and we never are taught our young women to stand on your own 2 feet at all times. Even if you do choose to get married, stand on your own 2 feet. A man literally is your sexual partner. He's your lover. That's it. And most of the time, they're not even good at that. And I would ask you to be extremely selfish with a man who doesn't treat you right inside the bedroom. If he doesn't treat you right, he doesn't care about you. He doesn't love you. He's just using you. We have an advantage that they don't. We are always sexually desirable. So when you see a man who you actually are sexually attracted to, then you can have fun with him and discard him and say bye-bye and then go work on your money. I'm not joking. It's freeing. After I got divorced, I said I don't want a relationship. That word is like so boring to me. I wanted to flirt, have fun with men, and then tell them to leave. And then I could have my time to work on my business and other things. That's how a man sees women, and that's how a man does life. It's freeing and empowering. And many of us who have had sexual relationships with men, we kind of regret most of all of those. They were boring, lackluster, and then they damaged our body and our health. One lady's had a constant yeast infection for years since she's been married. Many women realize it just messes up your pH balance, and most of these men complain when they have to wear protection. If a man complains when you ask him to wear protection, he doesn't care about you. He's trying to use you for his pleasure. Always wear protection. And always make sure you're with a man who is very kind and very gentle to you and not aggressive at all. Not rude to you at all. And if you check his ass, he takes a step back. He doesn't double down. He doesn't defend. He realizes that he needs to be kind and a gentle man with you at all times. It's not all it's cracked up to be. And if a lot of us had it to go backwards, we'd probably all have our V card. I'm not even lying. There was one or two situations where I don't regret it, but most of the times it was like blah, and then on top of that, pH balance messed up, no thank you. What a waste. And then on top of all of that, the risk of having a baby or having to worry about now getting abortion, which some women don't even have access to. Not worth it. But what men don't want you to know is they need constant access to that. Women, not so much. Especially when you've been disappointed over and over again. We could just do without it altogether. But men need constant access to that. It's something they need. Money, food, shelter, resources, and Bex. We don't really need it. So they've devised a scam called marriage so that you sleep right next to them every night. You don't see that scam? You think that's normal? You think that's what everybody did throughout centuries? Men got kind of crazy. Men weren't getting access to women. Men went to war and plumaged and did horrible things to get access to women. So they devised marriage in order for men to have an outlet. You're the thing they use. And then they came up with the idea of, hey, yeah, stay in the house and clean it for free. Your aunties and grandmas will never tell you this because they were patted on their head their entire life, everybody telling them they were good little women because they got married and had kids. They were sacrificed. They stayed small. They were kind and sweet. And little do these men know, but they will know in their next life that that's the only thing we could do. Because when you put yourself in a less power position than a man, you're going to have to stay small your entire life. It's time to empower yourself, stand on your own 2 feet, recognize your value in the world, and do whatever the fuck you want like a man does. I hope that you get a taste of this freedom, this independence, this true sovereignty, to never rely on a man or anybody for your resources, to be able to make your own money, to have your own mind and independent thinking. And I'm so proud of the young women who are listening to older women right now, because you're thinking clearly, much clearer than we did. All the messages around us were brainwashing. Say yes to the dress, get married, be a bridesmaid. You don't want to be a bridesmaid forever. When are you going to have a baby? We're trying not to push that onto you because you have so much talent and values that the world desperately needs. We don't need more babies. We need more real value. We need you to consciously take a hold of your life to find out what you really are. Until then, you're just a pawn that the Matrix can use. And something will always feel deeply wrong about that. Find out what true power feels like.